Hello everyone. I am Bread, or Robin. Breadrobin. I forgot my name for a hot sec. Breadrobin. You can call me Bread or you can call me Robin. I don't care. So this is gonna be a little bit different. This isn't a cosplay thing, this isn't like an announcement or anything. This is just something that I need to get off my chest. And I'm not driving anywhere for a long time for a bit, so I can't make it a car talks with Cassie. This is just gonna be my opinion of a thing. So the Joker movie came out, and I have opinions on it. But mostly I just want to get this off my chest, because I'm sick of seeing that stupid fucking clown everywhere. Oh my god. I was not a fan of it. I was not a fan. I didn't think it was that great. I don't get why people think it's great. Okay, let me explain my thoughts here, right? It was a good movie. Like, overall, I would say it was a pretty good movie, but I don't think it was a good Joker movie. Like, if it was just a movie about a dude who was, like, sad, it was just in America, and he was just in, like, a big city, and it was saying something about poverty and mental illness, and about how, like, we don't treat those people well. Yeah, I think and this man, like, went a little bit crazy from it, because he also had mental illness. That was never explained, like, it didn't say what mental illness he had, he just, whatever. I think it could have said something. But they had to base it off Joker, which, like, I feel like completely changes the message of the thing, because the Joker is a character that exists already. And they completely changed his, like, character and what he actually is for this, like, sanitized, really sympathetic version. For some reason. I just want to get this off my chest. The Joker's not that deep. Oh my god, he's not that deep. Like, I feel like with this Joker, and then the Joker that came out from the Dark Knight series a while ago, which I don't really like the Dark Knight series, but, I think I'm gonna get attacked for saying that. I just don't like it. I don't like it that much. People think the Joker's, like, way more deep than he is, and they think he's, like, making a point, and he's, like, he's, like, the coolest thing with all the comic book guys, and they're like, oh, I feel represented by the Joker, and I'm like, you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. Okay, let's get into problems that I had with the movie. It was shot nice. It was pretty. It was very slow, very uncomfortable, they made Joker way too sympathetic. They made him way too sympathetic. Like, in the comics, I'm gonna be drawing a lot of parallels from the comics, but I just want to say, like, you can make a good adaptation without sticking completely to the comics, but I feel like you have to also be true to the character in that way. Like, you don't have to get every exact detail right, but I feel like you should stay true to the character a little bit, and I feel like this is what they didn't do. They didn't do that. This was a Joker origin story. I'm fairly certain the Joker doesn't have, like, a true canon origin story. I'm fairly certain, but, like, the one that's popular is the one that I've seen in the Red Hood movie, where he was just, like, like, an up-and-coming, like, small-time villain. Like, he wasn't that much of a threat, and when Bruce was starting to become Batman, he was chasing him, and he, like, accidentally knocked him into a thing of acid, and he, like, that's why he's the way he is. I don't remember, okay? It's not the most coherent storyline. But that's the thing, the Joker, like, a lot of people, like, he's just like this. Like, yeah, he probably has some kind of mental illness, but not... But in the movie, they made it so that he was pushed into being this killer by, like, because society stepped on him, and they don't care about him because he's poor, and he ends up, like, killing these 3 rich dudes out of, like, self-defense, and everyone loves that he killed them, and they're like, everyone, he's, like, the Joker as, it, like, is a fucking icon for, like, poor people in Gotham, which I feel like is some problems, because it just showed, like, all of the poor people in Gotham as, like, really violent and just ready to kill a bunch of rich people at, like, the drop of a hat, which, I mean, yeah, sure, bring out the guillotine, down with the rich, but also, like, it painted them in a very general way that they were just ready to follow Joker at any point, like, and no one likes Joker. No one likes him. Like, he has henchmen and everything, but he's not, like, idolized because he doesn't just kill rich people. He kills rich and poor people. He probably kills poor people more because they're easier to kidnap. Like, he's not this big revolutionary symbol dude. He's just a crazy clown man that just hates everything and wants to kill people because he can. And they kind of did that in the movie, I guess. They, like, you kill those guys, and then at the end, this is gonna be spoilers, by the way. Sorry. But he killed these guys, and then, like, at the end, he was being interviewed on this talk show that he likes, and he gives this whole big speech. He was like, I killed those guys because I could, or something, because they... No, he didn't even say it. He said, I killed those guys because they were awful. And he was glad about that. And I'm like, okay, but now you've painted this in a completely different light by making his first killings about self-defense and because they were mean to him after he was fired because he had a bad day. Now you're painting it like those guys deserved it, which, I mean, probably. They probably did. They were probably assholes. But also, Joker doesn't just kill people who deserve it. He kills people who don't deserve it. He kills anyone because he doesn't care, because he knows he's crazy and he likes it. Like, he's not that deep. He's not. He probably had a fucked up life, but he wasn't like this downtrodden character who was pushed to the brink by society. No. If anything, in the comics, I would say society helps him because he does focus on, like, he, like, takes advantage of, like, poor people and, like, kills them, and he uses the advantage of sometimes that, like, people don't look for him. And again, the Joker's not that deep. That's what I'm gonna call this, the title of this video. I'm gonna call it The Joker's Not That Deep, because he's not. Oh my god. What are the problems I have with it? So they put Thomas Wayne in this movie. Interesting. They put the Waynes in this movie, and the big thought was on Thomas Wayne, who they faked you out for a second, because for a minute, you thought that the Joker was Thomas Wayne's, like, son from an illegitimate union. I was so mad about that, and then it turned out it wasn't true, and I was like, thank fucking god, because if that was the angle they were going through, I was going to riot. I was gonna riot. But he's not. But they made Thomas Wayne, like, this asshole dude was really condescending and patronizing and was running for mayor and, like, didn't care about the poor people of Gotham, and I'm like, we don't know much about Thomas Wayne, because it's just from Bruce's flashbacks, but we know, like, 3 things about Thomas. And this movie managed to just say fuck it to all those 3 traits. He was a surgeon. He wasn't running for mayor. He was a surgeon. That's why he was rich. He was a surgeon man. And he was very generous. He had a bunch of charities that he gave to people. And he was a nice dude. Like, what? Why did you have to bring the Waynes into this? I get that, like, oh, they're rich, so they probably suck, which, yeah, valid, a lot of rich people do suck, but, like, the Waynes, they just completely changed it. I'm so upset. This is why they should have just made this its own movie. They shouldn't have made it Joker themed. They shouldn't have made it in Gotham. They shouldn't have made fucking Thomas Wayne running the mayor so they could make him mean to Joker, so that Joker could finally go off the rails. Like, oh my god. Bruce was in it. Bruce was really cute. It was just a little boy. He had a little turtleneck. I loved it. Bruce was in it. Bruce was in it. And at the end, the Joker riots are happening because the Joker, like, killed a dude on TV or whatever. And it showed the death of Thomas and Martha Wayne. And this time they don't get killed by a robber or anything like it normally is. No, it was a dude in a Joker mask who went, hey Wayne, you get what you fucking deserve or whatever. And he shoots him. And then he rips Martha's pearls off and shoots her and then runs away. Which, why did he rip Martha's pearls off if he wasn't there to, like, steal stuff from them? Because that was a whole thing. Like, the dude was a thief. And that's why he ripped Martha's pearls off, and it was really fucking dramatic. Also, if the dude was just, like, a cold-blooded murderer, why didn't he also kill Bruce? Like, did he have that standard? Like, in the thing, he didn't kill Bruce because it was just a robbery gone wrong. Like, I don't think he really meant to shoot those two people, but this dude was just shot these two he just shot these two rich people, and then looked at their rich, spoiled kid and was like, now you can live, and walked away. Like, I get that. If they had killed Bruce, I would have been even more pissed. But I don't know. It was weird. It was stupid. And then they had it in this way that, like, oh, the Joker created Batman in that way because these riots were happening because of what Joker did, and that the person part of the Joker riots killed those guys, and then they had, like, a shot of Bruce standing over his parents' dead bodies. And I'm like, do not fucking do this to me. Also, the Joker was really old when Bruce was, like, a small child. So, like, by the time Bruce is Batman, the Joker's gonna be, like, 60. Is he just gonna be beating up his, like, old man? Like, what? Is that gonna happen? I didn't like that at all. I hated it. The dude with the girlfriend, the thing with the girlfriend, that got me for a hot sec. I just thought, like, they really convinced me. I was genuinely convinced that, he was, like, dating her. And at first, my first thought was just, oh, you can tell this movie was written by a guy because this man stalked her, and then she came over and she was like, were you following me? And he was like, yeah. She was like, oh, cool. And then she was like, I'll go to one of your comedy clubs. And then, like, at one point, he, like, finished killing those guys, and then he ran back to their apartment, opened the door, kissed her, and she immediately started kissing back. And I just thought it was a really bad case of a man not knowing what a woman would do in this situation. But no, it was actually just, like, all in his head, which I feel like, that was cool. Again, but I don't know why they had to add it. I don't know why they had to give him a romantic interest that he, like, liked, but it turned out it was all in his head. Like, I don't know why they felt the need to do that. Like, the only romantic interest he ever really has is Harley, and he's not even, like, romantically attached to her. I'm not talking about Suicide Squad. We're not talking about Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is okay. Harley and Joker are not okay in Suicide Squad. But in every iteration, he manipulates her for his own gain, and then he can't get rid of her. Like, he's not, like, actually in love with her. But they made him, this dude, like, be obsessed with her and, like, go on, like, fake dates with her and, like, be in love with her. Even if it was in his head, they showed that he had that side to him. And I'm like, it's part of that. They made him very, like, human and very, you know, sympathetic and sad, and you, like, you feel bad for him that he imagined this, and then it's not true. And I'm like, he's not a sympathetic villain. Like, that's my main problem with this movie. Joker is not a sympathetic villain. He has kind of a sad backstory if you go with some of the backstories that he has, but he shoots Barbara, paralyzes her. He beats a 15-year-old Jason Todd to the crowbar while laughing. He has probably killed many children before. He abuses his girlfriend and feels absolutely no remorse. And he kills people and he doesn't care. And this movie, I feel like, doesn't paint him in that light. Like, they painted him in the light of he was crazy, which, and that he killed these people, but they painted it that he killed them because he was, like, sick of society and sick of being treated badly and all this stuff, and they made it so that he, like, liked kids and entertained kids, and I'm like, they didn't paint him as, like, the Joker who is fucked up and would, like, shave his face off in the comics and then put it back on, because he did that in comics. Like, what? And then the whole thing about him being, like, very mentally ill and going off his medications, and then that's when he, like, starts murdering people, I feel like was not good, too. Like, the Joker, he has a mental illness in the comics. I don't remember what it's called, but, of course, I mean, no one who was the Joker is sane. But, like, they didn't give him, like, an actual diagnosis of anything. They're just like, oh, he's mentally ill, and now he's off his meds, and now he's going crazy. Which I'm like, that's not really how like mentally ill people work. Like if they go off their meds, it can change their personality and their moods, yeah, because those medications help them regulate like what their mental illness is doing to their brain, but like they're not all inherently violent people who once they go off their meds are going to shoot up places. Like what? what? Also in every scene he was either smoking or shirtless or both. It's not really a criticism, it was just annoying, and oh my god, I saw this man shirtless way too many fucking times for this movie. God, this is getting long. I just wanted to rant because I'm sick of seeing Joker stuff everywhere and people being like, Joker's so cool and so deep. No, he's fucking not. Joker's not that deep. Okay, this is getting long. I just want to end it with that I'm getting very sick of the having to make comics very realistic and very gritty. Because, like, I like comic book movie adaptations. Like, I think they're fun. Like, I actually like DC movies. Like, Aquaman, Wonder Woman is really cool. I liked Justice League. There were some problems with it, but I really liked it. Batman vs. Superman, some stuff was cool in it. But, like, people keep wanting to make them, like, really dark and gritty and realistic and everything has a meaning. And I'm like, they really don't. Like, comics are ridiculous sometimes. Batman, one of the most serious superheroes, he dresses up like a bat with a cape. He's got little pointy ears, and he goes around and punches people in the face. Like, that's ridiculous. That's objectively ridiculous. And it's fun to be ridiculous. Like, a lot of the things they are, like, they can be very deep and they, like, can be very emotional. But the things, they're also, like, ridiculous and fun. And they don't have to be realistic, which is what I feel like a lot of, like, comic book and superhero movies are, like, the Joker dyes his hair green and he does this and this is why he's like this and it's so gritty and realistic and deep. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be, like, it really doesn't. I'm really getting sick of this trend of people just making things way too deep and way too realistic. And realistic automatically for some reason equals dark. Like, things can be realistic and be happy. Like, it doesn't... Look at Shazam! Shazam was great! And it ended happy. It was... Okay, this is getting off tangent. This was just me. I don't like the Joker movie. I don't like the Joker movie. I'm sorry if you like it and you disagree with my opinions. You can leave a comment down below. Like, why? Like, I genuinely want to know why people like this so much. Because I hated it so much. But yeah. Thanks for watching. Listen, man, I got opinions. But thanks for watching if you did. Let me know if you liked it, or if you hated it and you think my opinions are garbage. Because, you know what? You're valid. You're valid. Yeah. The joke is not that deep.